I think the common experience of working through this extremely demanding program and working through it in groups produces relationships and friendships that last people throughout their entire management career. You see an interesting thing happening at reunions in this school. When people come back 10 years later, there is not a whole series of encounters of getting reacquainted. People have a fairly good familiarity with what has happened to their classmates over time. They've often been in contact with them on a fairly regular basis. Those people who were in a section together in the MBA one year remain a very cohesive, tight group. When they come back, it's almost like you're revisiting a party in the MBA one year. There's lots of cohesiveness, lots of friendship, lots of togetherness that happens. So the relationships continue throughout a person's entire business career, and I think that's one of the real strengths of the program.
There really is a fraternity among Western grads, you know. They tend to stick together, you know. You go into for a job interview and somebody knows somebody that graduated with you or something. It's just a very, very close fraternity, and they all seem to stick together and they have something in common. They all went through the same sort of war together, you know, and it just seems to be there, you know. I don't know. I see it here tonight. I ran into some people earlier today that were 65 grads. I had nothing in common with them. You know, I was 20 years different or 15 years difference, and yet they seem to, you know, relate to me, and I seem to relate to them. We had the same sort of experience together, you know.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to converge on the student, the participant, his or her development with the technology we have, with the cases we have, with the total program that we're trying to achieve, because our end goal is a more effective manager.
If you give up on yourself, sort of saying, I'm never going to be able to learn this, then you're defeating your purpose, I think.
Going into the MBA, I felt fairly confident. The first 4 months of the MBA, I felt totally inadequate. Coming out of the MBA, I felt great. And looking at myself now, 5 years out of it, I feel I have a solid background. I feel very self-confident. I have no difficulty talking to clients on whatever their needs are. So I think it did a lot for me.